2 weeks ago, we found out what was in your pockets. Tonight, we want to find out what's in your EDC gun. Coming right up. Yo, what up? What's going on? Man, I tell you what, I'm excited. Coming in hot. We're a couple minutes late, but that's all right because we are here on a Tuesday night for the Tuesday night Builders Tribe Fireside Chat. I'm sorry, guys. I'm looking around here because I'm still getting myself set. I'm excited. I'm happy. It's another Tuesday. I'm able to come here and join in with you guys. I'm just so freaking pumped up because we're here. And we get to do what we love. We get to, express ourselves with our freedoms. And I see we got a few people in here. We got Darth Dav in the place. What's going on, my friend? We got Mr. Vino's here. Ancient Order. What's going on, my man? Hawkeye. And we got Bob Masabo. What's going on, man? Been a minute since we've seen you. Welcome back to the Builders Tribe Fireside Chat. So it's Tuesday, and a lot has been going on. I'm sure we'll talk about several things that's been going on in the industry and the news. I've been getting all kinds of crazy stuff coming my way, but we're going to talk about EDC tonight. So what's on the topic for tonight, as you saw in the intro, we want to know what's in your EDC gun. Before we get into all of that, I wanted to just take care of some housekeeping. If this is your first time watching, or if you are in the if you're watching on replay and you have questions, if you're in the replay, go ahead and put it in the comments and we'll definitely get your questions answered because tonight's topic can actually send you down into a rabbit hole like I was earlier today, kind of getting overwhelmed with it. But we're gonna push through it today. So if you have a question and you're on the live, feel free to jump in the live section, the live chat. The tribe is in there. We just introduced several of them. Ask your question. If you have a question and you asking it of us on the screen, myself and our co-hosts that are going to be coming in hot, he probably sent me a text. Mr. Nas Veritas won't be joining us tonight, but looks like Mr. Hawkeye. Not Hawkeye. Yeah, coming in hot in 5 minutes or less. Mr. Webton XYZ said he's running a little late, so he's gonna be here. So, but if you have a question for us on the screen, please in the chat put 4 question marks before your question so we can definitely pull it out and answer your question. Because sometimes the chat goes by and we're doing all these things and we might miss it. But if your question marks are there, we'll definitely be able to get to it. So, with that being said, tonight's question, what's in your EDC? We talk about the guns we build and everything we have going on, but we rarely talk about what we put in them. And it's important what we put in them because wait a minute, what's that didn't do it. Okay, because you could put the wrong thing in. You could put something in that doesn't give you the reaction you want. We'll talk about some of those things, what those things are, the size of the bullet, the velocity, all of that stuff. So we'll talk about some of what to take in consideration when you're thinking about everyday carry round, because if you're out in public, you have to think about all the things that are around. If something should happen and you decide to take action, do you have the proper ammunition? So give me a second while I load up the slide deck, because I was just finishing up the slide deck about 10 minutes ago, and Mr. Nas Veritas hit me up and wanted his what he carries added in. So give me a second. I will load up the new slide deck. Nope, that's not it. Give me a second. Assets, builder showcase. No. I am drawing a blank on where the heck this thing is. I'll find it. But anyway, yeah. So if you guys in the, you see, looks like Ancient Order. Give me a second. Ancient Order. He carries 124 grain 6 hour V crown. Man, how are those V crowns, man? I've been seeing them. They've had them on sale for the last couple of weeks. I've been thinking about grabbing a couple of boxes, man. Have you taken them out to the range and shot a box or two just to see how they are? Let me know down in the chat how you like them. Now, Matt Adams is here. He's a little late, but he's here. To see Bob Masavo, critical defense 9mm. Absolutely nice. 115 grain. That's good, because we're going to discuss those tonight, because that's actually one of the ones I have in one of my guns. So those are excellent rounds, and I like them. We're going to discuss those, in detail, maybe not, but what else, guys? Mr. Vino, what are you carrying? Hawkeye, what are you carrying, dude? Give me a second. Where the heck is that slide deck? For some reason, I am drawing a blank where I normally keep the slide decks at, but Builder's Trap. There we go. I don't know why I wasn't seeing that before. All right, so let's see, Bob. You said I've been considering Critical Duty 9mm, 124 grain plus P. I've heard those are very good, and we'll talk about the plus P designation, because that is actually pretty important when it comes to velocity and the effect it has on the bullet. Will it go through? Will it not do what it's supposed to do? It really just depends. Depends on your, how far you're shooting too. So okay. I'm sorry. Mr. Weapon X keeps sending me messages, so I was just reading it. So he said he'll have to come in and out of the stream. He's got a couple of things going on. So he'll make sure to have that. But anyway, let me go ahead and add this to the screen. So Hornady critical, these are the 4 rounds that I have in any one of my guns. Hawkeye said he's running 115 right now, lead and copper. Mr. Bernie, critical defense. All right. We got a lot of votes for critical defense. As you can see on the screen, these are what I carry. I have in the one I carry currently, my Copperhead that I carry currently, number 4, Underwood Extreme Defender 9mm Luger 90 grain Lehigh Extreme Defense, lead free, 1400 feet per second velocity. That's what I carry with me every day. Now, in one or another of my guns, I have the Hornady American Gunner. Those are the ones that are usually in my bedside, and I'll explain why in a little bit. The Hornady Critical Defense 380, that's in my wife's 380 EZ, 1,000 feet per second. The Hornady Critical Defense, which a lot of people have said, 115 grain FTX, 1,140 feet per second. And let's see, Bob says, I thought the plus P would make up for the extra weight in a 3-inch barrel. It can, but it also can be, depending on how far the target is, it can go through, and depending on the angle and everything else. So since we're talking about that, what are some of the things to consider when purchasing what you want to carry every day? Because here's your situation. You don't never know where you're going to be, who's going to be around. Hydrosocks and critical defense. Yeah, Mr. Vino. You have to think about velocity. All right. So what is the velocity? The velocity is the rate of speed that the round comes out of. And of course, with a shorter barrel, like Bob just said, he wanted to make up for the difference in weight and the shortness of the barrel. So that plus P can give you a little extra velocity. What's going on, Mr. Weapon? You ready to come on in? Weapon just popped into the back. He's not ready yet. He's getting himself together, all prettified. And but yeah, so that plus P can give you a little bit of extra velocity coming out of the 3-inch barrel to get some penetration. And if you're running, which one are you running? You're running the 124 grain critical duty. So those usually have the, let me get The one in the middle, that's the critical. That's my critical defense, and I believe the critical duty has that also. And guys, basically, these are the three different types of bullets that I carry. That critical defense and the critical duty has the filler in the middle, and what that does is it helps you get through material. So, which is another consideration when you're talking about defense rounds. So real quick, you have to think about velocity. You have to think about what's beyond the threat. So if you do go through it, if you have that plus P and you go through something, what's beyond them? Okay, that's one of the 4 rules. Always know what's beyond your target. So even if you hit your target and you go through, and what's going on, Mr. Weapon? Welcome, sir.
What up, peoples? Sorry, man. It's a scorcher in the crib tonight. I got the guns out. Sorry, YouTube.
Would AC go out?
No, it's just hot as fuck, man. Third floor.
Is it still snow out on the ground?
Yep.
Oh,
so somebody's got their heat cranked up on the first floor, I'm sure.
Lord have mercy. 10% more chamber pressure, Bob. Yeah, Bob. Now, depending on what you carry, of course, I'm probably sure you've shot it and you've made sure that plus P. Just don't put plus P plus in there, man. That can be detrimental to your gun. Too much pressure can cause things to expand and blow up, and that's not good. But back to the considerations when carrying firearms. You also got to think about walls. Is it going to go through the walls? Who's on the other side of those walls? People that are on the other side of those walls. If somebody come in, like for instance, if I'm in my bed, right, I have my bedside gun. If someone's coming and I have to shoot through my door, I know on the other side of the wall. So let's just say I miss them, and it hits the wall behind where they would have been. I know that that's going into my bathroom, probably through the bathroom, out the closet on the other side of the wall, and hopefully it'll stop there because of the rounds I'm using. It's not going to go through 4 walls and tile and all of that. However, let's just say my daughter was in that bathroom at the time when I have to shoot, and that person moves and it goes through that wall. I have to be concerned with my daughter being on the other side of that wall in the bathroom.
No, absolutely.
So you have to take all of that into consideration when you talk about, okay, I got plus Ps. Okay, plus Ps are going to give me that extra velocity, but do I need it in that type of situation? You know what I'm saying? I'm shooting 10 feet. I don't need that extra velocity to shoot 10 feet. And
I would say it would be good for range shooting if you don't, if you're okay dumping $30 worth of ammo for a box,
Who's that you're talking about?
Oh, I said plus Ps. If you're going to an outdoor range, because they have the extra velocity.
You're not going to use these at the range. I mean, except just to feel what they're like. Because and going back to earlier, Darth Dev says he would you have you've used the 6-hour V Crown and they cycle through all guns, 80% builds, Berettas, blah blah blah. Yeah, I heard they're very very good. Now, some people say, well, why can't I use defense rounds on the range? You absolutely can. They're just going to be a lot more expensive. More expensive. Now, I do suggest everyone within the sound of my ears, if you carry defensive rounds, be prepared to sacrifice a box. And what I mean by sacrifice a box, you have to know that those range rounds, those rounds that you get for $16 a box, the full metal jackets and the stuff that you're not supposed to carry in a defensive, those are gonna feel different. You have to shoot a box.
They're gonna sound different. They're gonna smell different.
That's right. They're going to feel different. So you have to be able to sacrifice a box.
Yep.
I mean, have everybody in the chat, have you guys all sacrificed the box? I know that can be very expensive. Like I just got two boxes of 10 millimeter for Liberator. And I'm like, man, I really don't want to sacrifice one of these boxes. This is an expensive box of rounds. It's only almost $30 a box. I'm like, fuck. But got to do it, right? I mean, if you haven't, go do it. You know what I'm saying? So
I dumped off a whole box of Underwood Extreme Defenders, man. That hurts.
Yeah. I bought two when I looked back on when I purchased mine. I bought 2 boxes, and I knew I dumped 1 box downrange just because
And if none of you have ever shot the Underwood Extreme Defenders, bro, you need to get out more. I'm just saying. Especially super fun to shoot at the range because of the marks it makes on the target. Looks like you hit the target with an arrow.
I'm gonna put. I was doing some research for today, and I went into. I mean, I got deep in the woods on ballistics and everything, and I was gonna put up some videos, but you know what? It will be in here for 3 hours trying to watch all the different videos. I just put a link in the chat. I created a playlist on the Builders Tribe channel. Go to that playlist. All of the rounds that we've been mentioning, all of them, if you haven't already, look at the ballistics, gel and everything that they go through, and they even give explanations on the difference in gel and everything. But going back to the Hornady, the Underwood. Let me back up because I didn't finish going through. This is what happens, man. We get off topic and we go around and we get off in the woods. But the other 2 things, clothing, you got to worry about clothing and movement. Because difference in clothing, if difference in the seasons, if somebody's coming in wearing a heavy leather coat, you got to worry about, okay, if I have to engage them, will my rounds go through that leather coat? Okay. Or will it deflect depending on what angle they're at? Because hitting somebody dead center of your chest is different than hitting them on an angle coming through their shoulder or, hitting them in the, it's just really dependent. So you have to carry something that, will go through even if it's part way. So it's all going to mean the difference. So the Underwood Extreme Defender, one of the videos, the guy's shooting 90 grain.
It's gnarly, bro. It's gnarly, man. 1475 is the velocity on that motherfucker, man.
That's on the plus P's. On the regular is 1400.
And the regular is 1400.
Yeah. And they're all designed to, reduce recoil. The flutes in them, it looks like a let me just go ahead and put the screen.
It looks like the tip of a Phillips.
Look on the left. On the left of the screen, looks like a Phillips head screwdriver, but those blades are designed, radial blades are designed to force the hydraulic energy inward, and basically it forces a bigger wound channel as it's going through spinning. And
imagine when they build some planes, they actually put an area where wind can pass through, or like a flute or a whistle. And that helps the air and the travel faster over the top of the bullet. So instead of a bullet being flat and round, it's fluted, just like your barrel, just like a fluted barrel.
Yeah, it's designed to help it go straighter, longer, faster. One of the videos I was watching, when he was using the plus P's, they had almost 18 inches of penetration, which the max, as per FBI protocols, 18 inches. Shouldn't be no less than 12 and no more than 18. And I was looking for that, but my computer decided to reboot and got rid of the document. But I'll post it in the forum after the show. And guys, if you are not part of the Builders Tribe forum, hit us up at builderstribe.org and go to the forum. It is free, guys, but we have a lot of information. A lot of these guys that are in the chat right now are all in there. We share information. So if you're not part of the tribe, become part of the tribe. It's free. No one's going to ask you for any money. If you want to donate. If you don't, no big deal. We're still going to be there and we welcome you. All right, guys. So back to the Underwood, and I'm just reading the stat that was on the thing: a minimal surface area to increase the force at the point of contact and sharp cutting edges that defeat barriers. These things, and I'm gonna go to the next video real quick. The one on the right hand, that's the tip after it's been shot. There's nothing. It doesn't change at all. There's no loss.
Here's the thing. What's great about that is, imagine this from you don't necessarily want to take life, right? So look at this from that perspective. This has got stopping power, but it's not going to fragment at all, which means they can go in. It's an easier wound to clean out just for that particular, find the bullet, retrieve it, to prevent sepsis, that kind of stuff. So that's why I run them. I also run Spear LE Gold Dots as well, 145s.
Now the one on the top left, that's those are Critical Defense and American Gunner by Hornady. That's how they blossom out and they flower. And the one on the bottom, that's what Nas carries. That's the Federal HST, and that sucker really looks like a flower when it blooms out.
Yeah, that's the same thing with the Spear LE Gold Dots I run. They're basically the exact same thing. They do the flower.
Yeah, yep. So this is a picture of ballistic gel. I think those were the American Gunners. The top one went through, it was just bare, and the bottom one went through 4 layers of denim. So denim, just those American Gunners, going back to the other picture, that's the one on the right-hand side, the hollow point, jacketed hollow point. And I was explaining the difference of the jacketed hollow point and the Hornady Critical Defense FTX, which has the filler inside. And some people don't know what those fillers are for. I'm sure everybody here does. But they're designed to help go through the outer layers of clothing. Because one of the things that they were finding out is that the hollow points were having trouble. They were getting clogged up with material fragments. So they weren't blooming the way they're supposed to, because the material would get in the hollow point.
It would get caught in it.
You caught in it, and now it's a ball round.
It's like if you ever seen a cannonball fired at a sheet.
Yeah,
pretty much. What I mean? It doesn't rip through the sheet. It's going to carry the sheet with it for a while.
So, yeah. So, and that's the difference between those two, in case you didn't know, or if you're watching this later on and you're wondering why some hollow points have, different fillers in them. That's why, because that's going to burn off hopefully after it gets into the system, and it's still going to allow the round to flower out, bloom out, and stop inside. Because the whole point behind any of these rounds is to not go through your intended target.
Right, which is why I don't run Extreme Defenders for my home defense round. Or sorry, Extreme Penetrator for my home defense round.
Yeah.
I would honestly, I would never run an Extreme Penetrator unless I was an operator and I was going into a house and I knew that there was no civilians in there or something. As a civilian, I would never run those for self-defense. Yeah. Maybe in a car gun, maybe in a carbine setup where you need to go through a car door, maybe, then I might run them. Oh, hell yeah, Bob. Yeah, he's got good videos, man. I've watched a lot of his stuff. There's another dude I watch too. I'll post up a few of his videos in the forum here when I get a chance. He does a lot of ballistic gel tests, but he does other materials as well that also simulate flesh, bone, that kind of stuff. So,
Military Arms Channel. You'll find one of their videos on the list, and he goes into a lot of detail on all the different things dealing with the ballistics, and the temperature of the gel makes a difference. And while we're speaking about that, let's see, we had a picture. Let me bring the picture of the gel back up. The gel, people seem to think that the gel is not supposed to simulate the body. Okay. It kind of simulates muscle. Okay. Because you think about your body, you have muscle, and even that's not exactly accurate, because everybody's muscle density is different, right? But you also have bone, you have skin, you have cartilage, you have all these different things. So it's not going to give you an exact representation of body. And in the video that's in the list, he talks about how one of his associates had rounds. I think it was plus P plus that went through two ballistic gel, bricks, bottled water, and a block of wood. It just kept going. And he was like, man, I can't use this for anything because it's just going to go through everything. And he took those same rounds and tried to shoot it through a pig, and it wouldn't go through because, you got skin, you got muscle, you got bone, you have all this other stuff that's going to get in the way. That's going to
depending on how many layers of clothing you have.
Right. Clothing. So, don't think that when you watch these videos that the ballistic gel is the end all and be all, because it's not. It's just basically it's a way to gauge it evenly. So you can take 5 different bullets and have the same medium to go through to have, a good baseline test. So, but yeah, I mean, that's basically the bottom line. So we talked about, all of the different sale. This is Saleman. Saleman said, heck, I don't have a clue. I got these so long ago. It's something from Barnes. That's interesting. I've never even heard of Barnes.
Ram too. I also added a few photos to the doc if you want to pull those up as well.
Oh, dude.
I got it. And this is based on what we were just talking about with the extreme defenders.
Can you pull them
up? Yeah, actually I can. Hold on here. Make sure they popped over. Yeah. Okay, friend. Hold on. I got me.
Yeah, I'm in a different doc right now. Liberty Defense. Yeah, I've tried those. Okay, so Liberty Civil Defense the guy used to design for Barnes. Okay, I had never heard of Barnes, but there's a whole lot out there I ain't never heard of. Anybody in here ever tried Fort Scott munitions? Any of their rounds? I've never tried them. I see them out there all the time, but I've never tried any. Anybody in here have tried any?
I have not.
Hawkeye said he still have some in the back of the safes. I'm assuming he's talking about some Barnes.
Okay, I'm ready to share now here. Hold on.
All right, go for it.
So that's what I run.
Cabela Cell Barnes. Okay.
Let me
Spear, Gold Dot, and Underwood.
Yeah, Ram, can you change the screen to block us out for a second? I'll pop that up. There we go. I just forgot what button it was, man. I'm tired, y'all. It's been a long week. I've been working on this project at home here, me and the wife, and it's we basically redid our whole living room, fucking customizing an entertainment center, organizing a 1,000 movie collection. Like it's been a long week, so I apologize if I'm a little slow tonight. But this is what I run. So my Deadpool build, the holster, and then I run typically, I run the 15 round mag. So it's usually 15. It's usually 10 rounds of Spear LE Gold Dots, followed by topped off with 5 rounds of the Underwood Extreme Defenders.
Okay. Ancient Order. Yeah, I'm not a hunter, dude. I want to hunt, but I haven't hunted, so that's probably why I don't. And just like Bob said, I don't know. No. Yeah.
And Ram had the photo up a second ago too of the a ballistic gel test with a 9mm. So this is what those extreme defenses do to ballistic gel as it rips through. It is very it's a shocking round to watch in action. Let's just say that. Yeah,
they have
get it average, shocking because it makes a shock wave. No,
they have an average wound channel of 2 to 2 3/4 inches when they hit, and it's usually about it's I think he said 12 to 13 inches long, 2.5 inches wide.
Yeah.
That's nuts, man. It's I mean, if you get hit with it, you know you got hit for sure. For
Yeah,
sure.
when I was deciding which rounds I wanted to run, I did a bunch of research, like I think most of us do, and I bought the Spear Gold Dots, dude, because they perform well and they're cheap.
Mm-hmm.
I think I bought that box for $15, you know, for a box of 50. Right? Or is that a box? Yeah, a box of 50. And then, you know, the Underwoods you're looking at. I think when I bought my first box of those, it was $30 for a 20-round box.
Well, the Underwoods right now, I usually get them from
20,
Midway.
25.
They're about 25, and I get when they hit $20 on sale, I grab me a couple boxes of them.
Yep, I did the same thing. They went on sale right after the big bullet drought, and they dropped it like $22.50. So I snagged a few boxes, and then me and the wife were at Shields one time, and they had a few boxes, so we snagged like 3 off the shelf, dude, because they never carry them. Then I don't have to pay shipping, same price, but no shipping.
$60 for 50 gold dots. Oh. That's all right. That's about right. It's about $25.
No, I didn't say. Oh, I said. Oh, somebody said they paid 50. I paid 15 for 50. 15, not 60. 15.
Oh,
back when I bought that box of Spear Gold Dots. 60. Yikes.
Yeah. But yeah, try those extreme those Underwoods out, guys. That's what I carry, and like I said, I carry every day when I go out. My bedside, I have the American Gunners. Those are 124 plus P.
Okay. 115 Blazers.
In my wife's gun, we have the 380, and that's her bedside, the 90 grain 380. And then in the gun that's in her office with her at all times, that's the one that has the critical defense 115 grain FTXs.
Bob, I had to put that back up because, yeah, that's a very good point. I was just going back through and reading through some of the comments. Very, very good point. Some states or some cities don't allow hollow points, so an Underwood might be your best bet.
And I guess that since you put that up, now's a good time to say we are not ballistics aficionados. This is just what we've come up with.
I use,
our bit of research and what we use and what works for us. Something different might work for you, and like Bob just said, you may not have the ability to use what we use in your state. So please, please check your state and your city and your township and your neighborhood and your HOA. Check all that, because it could come down to you using something in defense, and now you catch a case because you were ignorant of what laws were in effect where you live. So please, 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 guys, check and make sure that you can walk with it, talk with it, work with it, whatever. Because the last thing you want to do is use it in the protection of yourself, your family, and others, and they come haul you off in handcuffs, and now you got to fight it. And since we're speaking about that, if you use your gun, you're going to be arrested in most cases. You're at least going to make a trip to the precinct. Okay. It ain't like the TV show where they come, they question you. Oh, it's a righteous shoot. Okay, go home. No.
And if it's on a Friday late night, you might have to spend the weekend.
Yeah. So, guys, hope everybody has insurance. Perfect. Perfect segue for USCCA. I wasn't going to say any names, Bob. I wasn't going to say any names, but absolutely, USCCA can absolutely help you out there, or any of the other ones. There's a lot of different ones out there, guys. Whatever works for you, where you're from, and what works with your budget, have something. Something is better than nothing. Do not go out there walking with your gun and naked with no coverage, guys. It's important that you take care of yourselves, because if you try to get a lawyer, from what I understand, lawyers the retainer sometimes is $50,000 to $100,000.
It's not cheap. It's not cheap
to retain a lawyer. They ain't done nothing for you yet. You got to come up with that money up front. So have something to protect yourselves, because see, not only that, if you do get something, and USCCA has this covered, but if you go with someone else, make sure they cover civil as well, not just criminal, because after criminal, you might beat the criminal case. They're going to sue you for some type of liability in civil court. So you need to have something that actually covers you in civil court as well as criminal court, guys.
And their family. When their family comes knocking, because you know that's going to happen. It happens almost every time to everybody, unless they ain't got one.
Yep. And if you're in a situation, you better call your family. Tell them don't answer the door, don't answer no questions. Because when they take you to jail, somebody's going to your house to try and take all your guns. Mm-hmm. It's gonna happen. So make sure everybody knows. I mean, these are the same thing as drills. And I know we're getting off into the weeds and off to the right, but if these, as important as it is to run drills with your family in your house, it's important to run drills with your family if something should go wrong, if something should happen. If you get that phone call that I've been involved in a shooting, they should know what to do.
Can you repeat that again for anybody again? Because that is so fucking important, man. It's so important. You have no clue.
You should run drills.
Nobody thinks about it.
As far as, in your house, a defensive situation in your house, but people should know what to do in case you are caught in a situation, you're not home, and you get that phone call that you were involved in a shooting. You're okay, but you had to use your firearm. They should know what to do without you having to spell it out to them what to do, because you should always, even if you have to have a checklist, put it on the side of the refrigerator, something. This is what you do if you get that phone call, because I'm calling my home after I call the police for the ambulance. I'm calling home saying, hey, I've been involved in a shooting. Call a lawyer. I'm going to call a lawyer also. And they should know, boom, they don't need to explain anything because we got a checklist of what to do.
Yep. And, also to add to that, if you are in a situation where you do have to defend yourself, and the target's laying there, you're trying to patch them up. Maybe you deem that they've, you call 911, gather your thoughts. Think about what just took place step by step every second.
We have
and recite that back, because if you don't, they might find out, right? Be honest, be truthful.
Don't say
but
shit.
Be gathered and be calm.
Don't say nothing.
Yep. If you're acting,
when you make the phone call to 911,
don't say nothing. Just say
the phone call to 911. Say there's been a shooting. One person has been hit. Yep. Please send an ambulance. Send the police officers. We're administrating first aid. That's it.
Yep.
You don't need anything else. They don't need anything else. They're going to try and press you for information.
You save that for when the officers arrive. Yeah,
and when officers arrive, you've already called your lawyer. That's why it's good to have these coverages, because most of these coverages have lawyers included. So before the police even get there, you've already called your family, you've called your lawyer, and when the police get there, they're going to start asking you questions. They say your lawyer is already on the way to the precinct to meet you. Period. You don't have to say anything else. Now, you can answer questions if you want, but I wouldn't suggest it. I tell all my students, just shut up.
Yep.
If they ask your name, tell them your name. That's stuff that they're going to find out anyway.
Right.
Your ID. If they ask where you live, my lawyer can answer that, because if they ask them where you live, they're going to your house.
Yep.
If they get your ID, they know where you live. So why are you asking me where I live?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So, you guys, all of this stuff.
That's why I also said that, like Ram said, don't give them information on the phone. That's why you also wait until the cops show up, because that also gives you time to gather your thoughts.
Yeah.
If you're spewing at some lady or some guy over, the operator for 911, and you're spilling your guts out and you're acting all meh, it's not good. You might say some things, you might slip up, and that's recorded. Mm-hmm. Keep that in mind. Everything that's recorded.
That whole Miranda, anything you say can and will be used against you. The whole can needs to be taken out because they will use it against you in the court of law. Everybody on this call, on this has probably seen the movie My Cousin Vinny, right? With Ralph Macchio and
1,000 times.
You know what I mean?
Easily.
And it's a prime example. He's saying in a question, I shot the clerk. But when it got to court, the cop was like, he kept repeating, I shot the clerk as a statement, not a question. So don't say nothing. Let your lawyer do the talking for you.
Yep.
But if you don't have the coverage, you might not have a lawyer. Get the coverage, guys. I don't care which coverage you get. I don't care. I don't make any money. Go with USCCA. I like their process, but go with anybody. I'd rather you be covered than not. I really don't care. I don't make any money off it. This is not a sponsored video.
I'll pop this up too. Bob said, Darth Dad, good advice. Darth Dad said, if you have a question, one rule of thumb is use it what your local police use.
Yeah.
And then Bob said, good advice. Also, don't use anything with a zombie RIP in the names. No zombie killer rounds.
Hey,
no RIPs.
Critical Defense has a zombie killer round. It's the same one. It just got green inserted in it.
Exactly. They'll find the box.
It's the same
one of those
thing.
dumb
It's
things.
just a box.
It's like the backplate things and whatever. Yeah. But it's I was touched on the RIPs because man, those is very hard to close up the wounds, and it's a disaster in the ER.
Well,
like I said, we're not always
wound is not that bad, but it's just like
not bad. It's the fragmentation because that flowers and spreads.
Yeah,
so that round is meant to go flower, and then the petals actually.
What's more dangerous about that, dude? Honestly, what's more dangerous about that? The inner core is just like a range round.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't fragment; it keeps going. You have the initial contact. You have the pieces that flower and frange out.
Yep.
And then you got that ball round that just keeps going through.
And then the other one just keeps going.
Going through. So that could come out on the other side because it's just the ball. It's the same thing as a jacketed full metal jacket.
Yeah, I can tell you guys as a buddy of mine worked the police force for many years, and he said those RIP rounds are just gnarly. And he said if they were to ever and it basically what the word I'm looking for is it gets a bad name.
It's not even against the law.
And they're not against the law. They just get a bad name. They just get a bad name because of what they do.
And the way I look at it, man, all bullets gonna cause damage.
Yep.
And they, people want to pick out the ones that, these must be more dangerous. Just like the pistol braces make the gun more dangerous.
Yeah.
How is that? It's the same gun without the brace on the end. That's legal. But because it has the brace, it can be shouldered, which makes it more lethal. I don't get it. Same thing with the bullets, RIP bullets. All bullets are going to cause damage. They're going to possibly kill depending on where you hit. Unless you're John Wick and you can get hit 3-4 times and you're not going to die. Be prepared for John Wick 5, by the way, guys. Be prepared for John Wick 5.
If they hurt my dog, I might have to do the same thing.
The prosecutor is going to come at you with anything and everything. Yes, because the prosecutor's job is to find somebody at fault. That's one of the things we talk about heavily in our legal use of force section of class. Their job basically is to find out who the bad guy is. And honestly, if you're not the first one to call, you're not the victim, you're the bad guy until proven innocent. Only country in that, it's no longer innocent to proven guilty. Now you're guilty until proven innocent, and that's the prosecutor's job. Absolutely.
Pop pop this up too. Bob brought up this in the book Beat the Heat. So I actually do own that. I've only read a bit of it.
Tell the police
I've only read a bit of it.
Speak with my attorney, and I'm going to remain silent now. You could tell him that. That's the same as saying my attorney will meet us at the precinct, and I reserve my statement until I'm with my attorney. Same thing, Bob. Absolutely.
Bob, you actually reminded me that I have that, and I've been meaning to pick up a book lately and do maybe like a chapter a week or, a chapter a day or something like that. So I think I know which one I'm going to pick up. I appreciate that. That is actually on my bookshelf behind me here.
Yeah. Hollow points explode. Yeah. They don't know. They're making things up as they go because they want to instill fear in the public, instill fear in the jury. That's ludicrous. How Mike Tyson said, it's just dumb. You know what I'm saying? Use lead and give them lead poisoning. Yeah. Oh man, yeah.
Yeah, it's silly, man. It's silly.
It's crazy.
Graham, what knife you carrying today, man? We never.
Yeah,
we said in the post earlier. What you carrying today? What knife you carrying today? What you got on you?
I don't have it on me right at the moment, but I was carrying my copper and green Boker.
Oh, we're both rocking the green today.
Yeah, yeah.
Shit. I'm rocking.
I was rocking that.
I'm rolling the F and Grow.
Nice.
Right. By the way, guys, this is, I don't represent this company at all whatsoever. But if you're looking for, let me get the logo in there. There we go.
Yes. Yeah, I got a few of those.
Identify. If you're looking for a nice, cheap knife, but well made and with super nice bearings, you can't go wrong. It's probably the only Amazon knife I'll touch. But not only that, but they've got like 1,000 different blade styles, types, handles.
I got two of them in the closet.
They're super nice. This has got like almost like a katana kind of a handle feel on it, but the action on this thing is slick. D2, I mean, super nice, little flippy, great fidget thing too. Love it. That's what I'm running today.
You see that one I sent you earlier today, dude?
Yeah, that's nice, man.
It was only $60. I was like, let's see, can I make it?
Kind of reminds me. It reminds me of another company makes one similar to that. I think it's called the Grenader. I don't remember the company though.
I was like, can happen. Okay, so all right. I love you guys, man. Y'all send me the stuff at the last minute. I love it. I love it. I love it. I'm gonna put this up here. Darth Dav sent me his. Give me a second. Let me share my screen. Darth Dav sent me. Wait a minute. Share screen. RAMjetta Gmail. There we go. All right. Add to stream. There you go, Darth Dav. That's a hell of an EDC. I like it. What's that? 380 auto, 90 grain. Nice. American Gunner. Yep.
Oh, yep. There's no way to flip it.
No, I can't flip it. I'm just sharing my screen. I want to go and download and all of that, but yeah, it's the 380 90 grain XTP, same as the 9mm XTPs. Excellent round, man. Excellent round. And like I said,
love the Typhon camo print on your holster. Super nice, man.
Yep. And that's Nas's Nas Veritas. He carries the 147 grain HSTs. So yeah, man, all excellent rounds, man. You guys are definitely on top of it. And I'd go to battle with all you guys at any time, man. At any time. And here's the cool part. Here's the cool part. We all use almost the same rounds. I'm out. Reload. Here's a box.
I'm actually, Ram, I'm going to say something too when it comes to that. Run everything you can through your builds, people. I don't think we touched on that at all. I know we had mentioned running your self-defense ammo, at least a box. At least a box, or if not half a box. But also make sure you're running everything through it. Do you imagine in the situation, fictional situation, of course, that something happened, drastic change in the world or climate, ammo is not going to be as readily available as you might think, right? When I had originally started building my first P80, I was thinking along the lines of, a backup gun, something that I can keep in case our effed up government ever decided to come and try to take ours, right?
Mm-hmm.
And as time evolved, obviously it evolved into something different. I started off just building this gray and black build. But I still keep that idea that what if some shit were to pop off and you didn't have access to ammo? You might have to scrounge for your shit and find it anywhere that you possibly can. So you better make sure that your firearm is ready to handle whatever you throw at it. I will typically run anything I can get my hands on through my P80. If I plan on carrying it, my Deadpool build guys had everything from 90 grain to 195 grain, even some 205, steel, polymer, aluminum, brass.
I've run everything through mine too. And
everything from self-defense to
people want to say,
range.
You made it yourself. It can't be reliable. Well, let's run everything through mine and run everything through yours and see which one comes out better. Because
we're even talking some magazines not even full load. I'm talking mix and match.
Yeah,
just to make sure, especially if I'm getting ready to run my self-defense ammo. Let's say it's my third time at the range. I trust myself with that gun now to load a full mag. Right. I will typically go, range, self-defense, range, self-defense, range. Right.
I stagger mine at the mine at the house.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll run my first 3 or 4 with the Underwood, and then the next 2 or 3 will be critical defense.
My reasoning for that. They're not cheap, and they fucking get the point across right away.
Yeah.
If any of you guys ever have the chance, or if you do own one and have never shot one at the range, bring it to the range. Put in your lightest ear protection that still protects. I usually typically wear an earplug style that has the valve. I don't like Bluetooth ones. I like to be able to hear a little bit of what's going on around me. If you do have the Bluetooth with enhanced hearing that do block out subsonic, that's a great way to go. But if you do have the ability, you have some lighter stuff, grab an Extreme Defender or grab one of your self-defense rounds. Maybe you've never shot it. Shoot a couple of your range rounds and then shoot one of those. Trust me, you know the difference, and everybody in the range will know the difference too. Because I know I've been to the range and I've popped off some of my I don't know, let's just say Blazer brass, just some range ammo. And then I've loaded a few rounds of Extreme Defenders or my Spear LE Gold Dots, just because I do it every once in a while. I don't just do it when I first get the firearm. I don't just run a mag through it or a box through it. I will every once in a while run a few rounds through it because barrels change, tolerances change, breaches change. Your ammo ages. Also, when you chamber and unchamber rounds, another point there as well. Make sure that if you chamber the same round a lot, fire that off next time you go to the range. If you're bringing your carry or your carry firearm to the range, make sure that you're shooting that round because they can get packed down. And if you get it packed down too tight, that's a bullet you don't want to fire. So do that. Run everything you can.
Absolutely do not keep loading that same bullet into the chamber.
Nope. I stagger them.
If you take them out and one is shorter than the other, just Either fire it when you go to the range or throw it away.
Here's what I do. I have my nightstand where I keep my little safe. I got my few bedside pieces in there, also my carry. I don't unload my carry at nighttime. I don't unload my nightstand piece because you know what? I might need one, and my wife might need one in the middle of the night. You never know, right? But if I unload my firearm, I will put all of my duty ammo back into its box, except for that very first round. That very first round goes on top of the nightstand. And the reason that very first round goes on top of the nightstand is so that very first round isn't the very first round anymore.
Yep.
And that is how I've trained myself to rotate my carry ammo. That same round doesn't get chambered over and over again. I'll put all of my ammo in a box, but that first round stays on top of the nightstand.
Well, we are coming up on the 11 o'clock hour, and I just wanted to go over these comments real quick. Mr. Bob says he's rocking Victorian Swiss Army Rally small pocket knife.
Yeah,
and Ancient Order said same. Hawkeye, he has his cricket today, 3-inch.
Nice.
All
the
right,
noisy cricket.
Cool. Bob said that Masada Mayu, man, that dude got a lot of knowledge. Said don't use your reloads in your carry since they don't have any exemplar specimens. I wouldn't use reloads carrying anyway. Just because I know you might be a master reloader. You know, that's one thing I won't mess with. The reloads.
You don't have the QC that a manufacturer has.
Yeah, you might be a master reloader, but guys, don't do that. Don't do that to yourself.
As good as you might be.
And in some respect, people say, well, you might be a master builder, but you don't have the QC to build a gun. Well, I tell you what.
1,000 rounds is my QC.
Our QC, everybody on this channel and everybody in the chat, I'm sure, takes more. Think about it. When you talk about builds like those companies that hand build 1911s and charge you $5,000 for them, their QC is them. They're building it. They're hand building it. They're hand adjusting everything, and that's what we do. I just think with the different variables in powder and primers and sealing, crimping. As far as bullets go, rounds, buy a box. And don't buy a cheap box. Don't lose Wolf. Even though, every one of my builds, they devour Wolf. They devour Tulamo. I've never had any problems with any of them. I only run them just to make sure they'll run them.
Ancient Order says he disagrees. I will say if you are on your shit, do it. I personally wouldn't, but if you're on your shit, go right ahead.
Yeah. Again, absolutely. This is just my opinion, guys.
Right, just my
Ancient Order. You trust your work, go with your work.
Hell yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying? I just wouldn't do it. I wouldn't trust myself enough to do with as far as ammo. And even ammo I've gotten from other people, I've just used at the range.
And Bob's right. I think almost all of us suffer from some form of OCD and some form of perfectionism.
Yeah,
to the point where we've forgotten more about quality control than most gun manufacturers use. And absolutely, man, absolutely. Yep. And plus, most gun manufacturers aren't firing that gun after it's built. They're not taking it to the range and dumping a mag. You are.
Yeah.
I am. It's my safety.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Don't beat me up. There's between reloading and hand loading. Absolutely. Correct. Hey guys, and just understand, I know nothing about reloading. So you guys probably, I know nothing about reloading. It seems difficult to me, but you guys like Hawkeye, Ancient Order, y'all guys been, go for it. If you can do it where you live, go for it. Hey, I just wouldn't. but we all have different opinions, and we all
I have
have
more
different
control over QC than them motherfuckers.
yeah. I'm pretty
Good
sure.
on you, bro. You'll have to teach me some stuff one day, man. When I get a house and me and the wife have, space to build a workshop and shit, and I'm able to set up a bunch of stuff.
I thought about reloading. I was like, you know what? If I put one more piece of equipment in my shop, my wife's gonna snap.
Bob said it's therapeutic. I find all sorts of small, detailed things therapeutic. Like stippling, I find it therapeutic. Polishing, I find it therapeutic.
Yeah, I'm about to send you some therapy.
Yep. Stenciling, all anything that requires like super minute, detailed stuff, dude. I'm fucking all about that. All about that. Ram and Nas have seen photos of the entertainment center I was talking about that I was building tonight, and I was like, yeah, when I go all out customizing something, dude, I go all out customizing something, and I do the same thing with my firearms when it comes to quality control. I don't just slap the thing together and call it good, man. I meticulously go over every part. I meticulously rework the trigger over and over again until it performs the way I want it to. Some yada, yada, yada. And yes, guys, don't carry cheap freaking mags for your carry piece, man. Buy some OEM or buy something reliable that you've used. Don't go out and pick up no Amend 2s and start running around with a 33 round Amend 2, because I can guarantee you the penultimate round will jam every time on every single one that I know that anybody has ever ran. All right. That's all I got. We're about a minute over. What you got, Ram?
No, I was just thinking about the ETS and the Amend 2 and the all the different range magazines you could have that people probably carry.
I can tell you guys the only other magazine I have ever used that I would trust in a carry piece, and that's only after running, a box of ammo through it, would probably be a Magpul mag. The only other, magazine I've ever had that's been reliable for me.
I bought a.
Otherwise, it's all
because
OEM
I just needed to get it. I needed to get it running. I bought a Pro Mag for spare change, just because I didn't have the $50 to dump on a 17 round
mags, man.
And it runs like hell, man, dude. I've gotten almost 200 rounds through it and not one hiccup.
Well, you got that 1P mag for me too. The one with the one with this thing on it.
Oh yeah, but that's the Glock though. I'm talking about for the SIG.
Oh, for your SIG, yeah.
I bought a Pro Mag for the SIG because SIG magazines, man, they $40 and up. I'm like, I didn't have $40 and I needed to get that thing running, so yeah, I dumped $15 on a Pro Mag. Not that I'm gonna carry it with it.
They're not cheap, but I have found them for decent on Magazine Warehouse.
Yeah. I mean, if I decide to carry it, I'm gonna get SIG mags. Right now, it's just something for the range for my student. If I decide to switch from the Glock to the SIG, I'll get some SIG mags.
I don't always carry a Glock, but when I do, it's an OEM fun stick. Is that a fun stick in your pocket? No, baby. There's two down there.
I should take my fun sticks to the range. I haven't shot them. I've saving them for the PCC, but I could load them up and take them to the range. Shoot them for the hell of it. Drive the range master crazy.
I don't currently own any fun sticks, but
mag dump 30 round fun stick.
If I ever end up doing an MCK assembly, because that's what I originally built Deadpool for. If anybody ever wondered why I don't run a red dot on Deadpool, even though there's a plate, it's because I eventually have plans to put that into an MCK and build the MCK and customize it around the Deadpool theme as well.
Okay.
But I think that would be the only time I'd ever run a fun stick.
To me, the only thing for an MCK is a plain Jane, because I'm a kid out the MCK itself.
I just want it because I can, take it out, put it back in. It's like, it's like putting a little dress on Deadpool, like give him a fancy suit to wear out for the evening.
And on that note, guys, we are going to call this evening to an end. We are 6 minutes over, but we got started 6 minutes late, so we are exactly at an hour.
Absolutely, fellas.
But you know,
yeah, Hawkeye, you already know I would. Hawkeye said stipple the grip.
Next week, what are we talking about next week, guys? Anybody got any suggestions for next week's show? I have a list of topics, but I want to know what you guys want to talk about next week. We can talk about anything. We know we have. I just finished a slide.
Bro.
The process of doing that slide was very, very interesting. But I think we're going to talk about that next time when we have Hawkeye's Custom Corner. Since he did frames this week, Hawkeye, can you do one on slides? Since you are the slide extraordinaire, polisher and etcher and everything. Maybe we'll talk about that on the next.
Hey, y'all, before
third Tuesday of next month.
Before we end the show, too, guys, everybody make sure to slap that thumbs up if you haven't. Yeah.
Hit the thumbs up, people. Hit the thumbs up.
I think we only got 6 or 7 people in still, but
smash the thumbs up, folks. But anyway, next week we'll be talking about something. I don't know what, but hit us up in the forum with I'll post up a message. What do you want to talk about next week? Guys, hit us up in the forum. Let me know what y'all want to talk about. We'll put it together. If not, by Thursday.
I said yes. Let's talk about that.
All right. So the third Tuesday of April, we're going to be talking about custom slides and customizing slides. So that is awesome. I'm excited. I'm having fun doing this build. And I know it's taken an extra long time, but I think we finally dialed it in, right, Weapon X?
Yeah, absolutely, man. And I know we'd brought up for this next stream, but if you guys ever have any ideas for a stream or something that you guys want to see us do a show on, whatever that topic may be, as long as it's within the realm of firearms and 2A news and EDC carry and self-defense and, just the general typical topics that we talk about, go ahead and drop it in the forum, man. Give us some suggestions. We're always open. I think we would love to do a show on a topic that somebody comes up with.
Absolutely, man. So with that being said, guys, we thank you for being here. Good night, all. We definitely will see you next week. Like I said, I'll put up a post asking for your subject requests. And if you guys don't come up with anything, I'll post up something on Thursday so we can start promoting and get more people in here. Our attendance has gone down a little bit. That's all right, but we got the core here and more people are watching on the replay. So we'll holler at y'all later. Deuces, everybody.
Peace out, everybody.